In this video we're going to look at exercise 2-33-4, and to start this I'm just going to go to the front plane and do a new sketch. Now, to make my life a little bit easier, I am going to make sure that I turn on the grid, and keeping in mind that this is a 30-inch by 30-inch grid and my thing is only 5 inches wide, I want to zoom in quite far here just to make sure that everything is going to be on the screen as it's supposed to be. I'm also going to turn on the tool that shows me closed loops and open ends. And then I'm going to begin just by drawing a line, which we'll bring out here. It comes up, angles up, comes back over to the end, and closes off. My middle button will end that command, and now I'm ready to start placing some dimensions. This is 5.5 across the bottom, so I'll make that 5.5. Go to my dimension tool, grab these two lines, and I will place the 4-inch dimension for here. Dimension this at 4.25. Dimension this at 2. Now, for all intents and purposes, this is all I'm actually going to place on this initial sketch. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this sketch, and I'll orbit this thing around a little bit so that I can see the thickness as it's being placed. And then I will extrude this object, and its extrusion thickness is going to be 0.25. And I'll hit the green checkbox. Now there's a couple of things that I need to locate on here to make my life a little bit easier. The first thing I'm going to do, rather than creating the initial hole first, is I'm just going to click back on this front face and do a new sketch. And what this is going to do for me is this is going to allow me to put in this boss that's in here. So I'll just draw a circle, and now I can dimension this. It is 1.5 from the bottom and 3 from the side with a diameter of 2. So I can now go ahead and finish this sketch, and now I can extrude that boss the height of 0.125. And I'll finish that. Now, the book isn't really clear as to whether or not the boss is on both sides or not, so I'm only drawing it on one side. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to the hole command, and my first hole I'm going to locate right here, and then pick my offset references. It is dimensioned from the left edge and the bottom edge. So holding down Control, I can locate both of those. From the left it is 1. From the bottom it is 2.5. The hole does go through all, and it has a diameter of 1. So with all of that in place, I can go ahead and hit the checkbox, and now I can move on to my second hole. So I'll click back on the hole command, and this one I'm going to do a little bit differently. Since I created this boss, I have an axis right here. So I'm going to left click on this face and then hit Control and click on the axis. What that does is that locks me into the axis, so I know that this is going to be concentric no matter what. And I will set it up to go through all and hit the checkbox. So what you can now see is the completion of exercise 2-33-3 simply by drawing the outer shape, creating the boss, and then placing both of the holes.